everybody, welcome to another edition of the Teacher's Lounge. Today, we want to entertain, inspire, and engage you as you join our mission to develop solutions so Arizona schools can better attain and attract good teachers. My name is Lloyd Hopkins. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. I'm the executive director and founder of Million Dollar Teacher Project, an organization I launched after working in and around education for roughly 18 years in different capacities. In my journey, though, the most impactful time was about the 6 years I spent directly in the classroom, working alongside teachers, helping teachers as a teacher's assistant in the Alhambra Elementary School District. I worked at Barcelona Middle School, Ana Lucia Middle School. I worked with special education students, general education students, and I really just saw the plight of the teacher firsthand and realized how much of a travesty it is how we treat our teachers. We can do more. I think even in environments where teachers are well-resourced, we can always do more, we can always do more and should always do more because they mean that much to our society. So today, I have the opportunity to introduce you all to an amazing teacher that I believe is a testament to the profession. To me, she really is. She is like $1 million teacher. She can be a little bit of a diva. She has a little bit of an air of a celebrity when she walks into the room. But when I see her, I see somebody that kids want to aspire to be. A person that inspires you, and is just so cool that you're like, I want to do what she's doing. She's a trendsetter, and to see somebody bringing that type of energy into the teaching profession, and interweaving that with her passion and care for youth and for kids, and for impacting the community, and using her time in the classroom as a way to shape our future, right? She shows up every day and does the difficult work and still does it all with class and style and pizzazz and charisma and all of that type of stuff, and a person that does that in an environment where she may not have all the resources that she definitely doesn't have, she's definitely not getting compensated in a fashion that's on par with how much she means and how much work she does in her community, and the fact that she still can show up every day like that. It just makes me think, what could she do if we did more, if she had everything that she needed, the type of changes that she would be making. So I am thoroughly excited. This woman just puts a smile on my face every time I see her and every time we talk, just lights up a room. She's a special education teacher at Granada East School, also in the Alhambra district, a district that means a lot to me. I want to welcome into the Teacher's Lounge, Miss Monica Baird. Welcome. Round of applause.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope I can live up to that introduction.
You live up to it every day. I learned this from my daughter.
I like it.
She was in fourth grade. It's a round of
Very
applause.
good. You pay attention.
The fact that we're doing this virtually, you got to get your virtual round of applause.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
But everything I said about you, I meant it. I hold you in high esteem. So the audience knows I've had the opportunity and the privilege and the honor to support you directly in your classroom for the past 3 years through our classroom support team program. You were one of our pioneers of the program. I think in year 2, I shifted away from the term guinea pig to the term pioneer, because guinea pig didn't sit the same. But we were launching this program. This was new. You didn't know me from anybody at the time, and we were introduced through your principal. Who because when I talked to him, And now you've been through two principals since then. When I talked to him, though, and I let him know we needed a innovative, motivated teacher to pilot this with. And the first person he thought of was Monica Baird, and the work that you're doing. So I'm not the only person that holds you in high esteem. With that being said, and our relationship and the work that we've done to support you in your classroom, tell me what you're binge watching. There's a pandemic going on in this world. What have you been binge watching?
Gosh, Lloyd, I am not an avid TV watcher at all. So I'm not binge watching anything.
Do teachers not watch TV? You're the second teacher that told me that they don't really watch TV.
I guess we have other things to do in our time. So I don't watch anything on binge. My TV's always on Food Network or HGTV. But not that I'm really engaged and paying attention, but those moments when I do, that's what it's on. And I've also been, of course, Hamilton. I'm such a Hamilton fan, and it's on Disney, so I've been watching that. I've probably about 4 or 5 times already.
Have you? So I've seen it twice. So it came to Arizona, and we went and saw it, and I fell asleep. And I fell asleep, and I missed the entire second act. Like we had waited for these tickets, and I fell asleep. So it being on Disney Plus, I had the opportunity to see
show. So I dragged my husband to it in Chicago, so we saw it as well, and it was amazing. And I'm not even going to address you falling asleep.
I'm old, Monica. I gotta just be honest. I can't sit still for too long.
Oh my God!
You put me in
I have the soundtrack, and I've listened to the soundtrack. I don't know how many times, but now that it's on Disney Plus, I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times since. I love it.
And I was the same. So we literally listened to so I used to drive my daughter to school, and she's the one that put me up on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And she had me listening to it every morning. And so I got songs on there memorized. The thing that I'll say, and we're not here to talk about Hamilton, but the thing I'll say where I give Lin-Manuel Miranda, is that his name? Lin-Manuel Miranda. Where I give him so much credit is that he had 3 audiences he had to satisfy with this thing. And I think that's what people miss. He had to satisfy the theater crowd. He had to satisfy the hip hop community, and he had to satisfy history buffs. Like that's hard, like that's not easy. And he pulled it off. So
but I think when you have a passion for something, it comes through, and you can definitely see his passion if you stay up and watch the whole play.
Yeah. So Lin-Manuel Miranda, you used to be a teacher. You want to come on the Teacher's Lounge? Holla at your boy. But today we're here with the fabulous Monica Baird. So with that, talking about when you're doing what you're passionate about and how you can weave that into everything that you do. Tell me about the day you decided to become a teacher.
Okay, so I have a life pre-teaching. It included lots of different adventures, and one of the most profitable was being in real estate. I have a master's degree in real estate development. I went into that business and field because I have my real estate license as well, and it just was a natural, transition. But I never felt fulfilled. I wasn't satisfied. It just didn't feel right to me. So I decided on my sister-in-law. She suggested that I teach. I'm like, okay, nothing I ever thought of, because success has always been how much money you make. That's, I think, how most people feel and think. So I was like, that's not going to be successful for me. I'm not going to do it. But I was like, okay, she said it, let me go see. So I got my sub certificate, and I went and I taught my first classroom, and it happened to be a special education classroom, and I fell in love. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do with my life. So I kind of gave up everything to explore that opportunity. I taught from preschool classrooms to 8th grade classrooms. I taught everything from art classes to even a sex education class, which I don't recommend to anybody. But in that experience, I was able to really know that I love special education, because every time I went into a special education classroom, it was like a peace in my heart, and I knew this is what I needed to do. So it was hard for me to commit to that because of the pay, and knowing that I'm not going to be the person I thought I would be financially if I taught in a classroom. But the opportunity to be fulfilled at the level that I experienced each time I went to a classroom, I thought that was more important. So I transitioned to teaching, and I got my master's degree in special education, and I have been teaching now. This is my 12th year in the classroom. So
wow, I mean, amazing. And just in that, I have so many questions just off that piece of your journey. But the first thing I'll say is that, so Million Dollar Teacher Project has 3 pillars to our mission. One is increasing recognition, one is increasing support, and the third one is improving teacher compensation. Because I firmly believe teachers should be able to make a good salary doing what they love. You know, it shouldn't be a conversation of either or. It shouldn't be a conversation of, well, teachers knew what they were getting into. They knew what the salary was. I think you should not only get paid more, I think you should get paid well. You know, what we're working on is how we can make the average starting salary for a teacher in Arizona $75,000 a year. That should be the starting point. And we're trying to create innovative ways to get there. But that should be the starting point, and the ceiling should be even so much higher. But we got to figure out new ways to fund the education system. We got to find new ways, new buckets that can support teacher compensation. So it breaks my heart every time I hear a teacher, because again, I get it. You're not in it for the money, and you just laid that out for us. And most teachers aren't. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't get paid well. And that's where people like me come into play. So you can be selfless and then let folks like us make sure that you get what you deserve for the hard work that you do. Because the way I look at it is that these professional athletes can make millions and millions of dollars for entertaining us, which is value. You know, there's certainly value to needing to be entertained, but teachers should be able to make just as much for educating us. So that's my note. So like I said, so many questions. First, why did your sister suggest you should teach? What was it about you that made her suggest that?
Honestly, I've never asked that question, so I don't have an answer for you.
Welcome to the Teachers Lounge. I'm an investigative journalist.
But she herself is a teacher, and she loves it. So I'm sure it probably started there. But I will have to ask her as soon as this is done.
Yeah. And I'm sure that it was probably she saw your passion, your sensitive nature, you know, and knew that would translate. Again, I'm not putting words in your sister's mouth. I don't know. But I think it will have something to do with that.